We spent the night at the local Walmart motel and then drove over to the dealership in the morning for the oil change. Instead of waiting around at the dealership, we decided we would revisit...
Ladies and gentlemen, the Traveling Wildberries. That little greasy spoon breakfast nook we had visited the other day called the Loose Caboose.
Yeah, the food was good, the owner was friendly, and the place was just down the road from the dealership, so that was the plan.
Bruce, the server, treated us really well yet again. However, this time we each bought one of those lemon ginger root teas as an appetizer after we ate our breakfast.
Once we were done, we still had time to spare, so we sauntered in a general direction of what the return journey to the dealership would be, while keeping an eye open for any little shops or places we could visit. Seems there were plenty of interesting things to see.
First, we ran across this place called Dickens' British Streets and Groceries. The first section, when you walk in, as the name implies, was a bunch of candy and grocery items you might find in Britain. Very interesting. The back section of the store contained a British museum of sorts.
Yeah, that was quite cool and very interesting. I know a few people who would be interested in this kind of stuff, so I took a bunch of pictures.
We toured around there for quite a while.
A bit further down the road, we saw this place. Kat rightfully reminded me that it would not be a good idea to be sauntering around in that store, as I'd likely end up buying a bunch of meats, and may not be a good idea at the moment.
Yeah, I almost had to drag Mr. Meat Lover over there from the curb at the front of the store.
Well, what can I say? I can't help it. It's just so good. I doubt I could ever be a vegetarian. That said, I do realize that animals have to perish for meat lovers like us to be able to eat meat, and that is a bummer, but...
We got back to the dealer, and after a bit of a wait, we were on our way.
Happy to be informed that there was no extra repairs or surprises that we had to deal with.
We decided that we would find our way back to Fort Langley. You see, when we were there a few days ago, there were signs mentioning a jazz festival that was happening today and tomorrow.
We scouted a parking place just outside of the center of town so we could possibly boondock there for later, park the RV, and then walk back into town to check out the music and the exhibits.
It was a lot of fun. We had a chance to visit some of the places we had missed on the first visit to the area.
The boondocking place we found was across from a park which we had visited the last time, so we were somewhat familiar with this part of town.
When we got back to the RV, we went for a nice long walk.
Steps up steps. The next day, we walked back into town for some more music and stuff. Oh, jeez. then we went back to the RV for supper. Here's a drone view of where we parked.
While chatting with the counter person back at the dealership, we had mentioned that we had gone into Vancouver, then came back here and intended to begin the return journey back home the way we came from.
They asked where we had been and what we had seen so far, and when we told them, they said, "Oh no, you can't just go back the same way you came from and not see the area up towards Shannon Falls and Whistler."
They continued, "You would kick yourselves if you missed that beautiful area." They basically said, not telling you what to do, but we urge you to take the journey up Highway 99, then hook up with Highway 1 and head back that way. You'll see it's beautiful.
After supper, I sat down to have a look at that journey on Google Maps.
We talked it over and decided, why not? We go for it.
Our only slight error, possibly, was that we left Fort Langley a bit late in the day, and the place I had picked out for a possible overnight was not workable. So we found ourselves driving up the coast as it was getting dark and we were getting tired.
We were a bit freaked at this point, thinking there was not going to be a suitable place for a stopover for miles. And we were, or I should say Ken was, a bit tired and not too keen on driving a very, very dark highway that he was not familiar with.
Just then,
this is where we say, be sure to come back next video to find out whether we found a spot and if it was a good one or not.
ciao for now.